Good morning here. Welcome to the Maldives is where I am today, and we'll just do a little bit of yoga with this beautiful view out the back. And I wanted to give a special little thank you to the cleaning staff here at the Maldives. He came in cleaning while I was doing some yoga the other day, and I normally just travel with these little yogi toes, and he went and brought me this actual yoga mat because the other thing was slipping around, and it was just the nicest thing. They said I could keep it until I check out. So now I get to do some real yoga, and we'll share it with you. We're gonna work on mermaid pose today because we're near the sea. This is the Indian Ocean in the background. It's so teal, so beautiful. If you ever have the chance, highly recommend. Depending on your flexibility, you won't need any props. But if you are questionable about it, you can gather something like a strap. I have this band. I don't know if I'll need it, but I'll show you how to use it when the time is right. Or you can use a towel, t-shirt, or just wing it. Really, life's all about moving your body and keeping that good circulation going. So another quote I read today that I think goes along with the theme of the ocean is that a major secret to happiness is letting every situation be what it is instead of what you think it should be, and then making the best of it. So kind of riding the wave, as I like to say, whatever comes up, and enjoy. So let's go ahead and get started on your back. It's my favorite way to start. Then come onto your back, soles of your feet together. So we're in Supta Baddha Konasana. Palms facing up if you'd like to receive energy. Palms facing down if you are a more introverted energy at this time. And then just go ahead and try to let your body soften. We're almost always walking around with some kind of tension. Humans, we've got goals, things we want to do. So for now, you can just let go, and you're here, you're on your mat. We're just moving, no real agenda. So just start to invite softness into your body, and then start focusing on your breath at the same time. So letting go of anything else and just inhaling and exhaling. Maybe making some adjustments as you start to find a little bit of relaxation and softness. Yeah, focusing on your breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Maybe even sending some breath to any tight spots. If you have, maybe your hips are tight, maybe your back is tight. Just send your breath there. Remember that you don't have to hold on to that tension. It's not yours to carry right now. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. Make a little compression, a nice cozy little ball. And then go ahead and drop your knees over to the left, gazing to the right for a spinal twist. Your spine can become a little bit longer each time. And then on your next exhale, bring your knees back to center, drop your knees over to the right, gazing to the left for a spinal twist. Knees back to center. Go ahead and roll around on your back. Loosen out any knots. Getting some blood flowing. And then hands behind your hamstrings and roll back and forth a little bit, getting some momentum. Until you can roll all the way up to sit. We'll come onto all fours. And we'll go ahead and do cat and cows. So on your exhale, you want to come into a cow pose, arching your spine, pushing through your hands so that you get all that movement in through your spine, and not just by moving other appendages around. And then exhale, come into your cat pose, rounding your spine. Seeing if you can try to move each vertebrae with each movement, and kind of moving back and forth. Really breaking up any junk that's in there. You want to move side to side, barrel rolls, go ahead and take those. flip your palms if you want to. This always feels really good for me. Then go ahead and flip your hands back over. And we'll go ahead and do a quick chest stretch. So grounding down through your left hand, take your right arm up to the ceiling, opening as you can with your feet grounded so your hips stay level, and then thread that arm through to the other side. And then coming back through to center, take your left arm up to the sky, grounding down through your right hand. And then go ahead and thread that one through to the other side. And then always breathing when you get into these deeper postures. And then come back to middle and go ahead and walk your hands forward for puppy pose. So want to keep your shoulders, your arms locked into your shoulder socket. So the stretch all comes from your chest and your back and not from your joints. So go ahead and then bow your chest down towards the floor. Deep enough, come back up to front, and then we'll go ahead and we'll take a few Surya Namaskara C. So go ahead and come into your downward facing dog, and go ahead and pedal that out a little bit. Stretch out your calves, loosen up, just really get any joints just flowing and moving and loosen, feeling good. All right, back and forth on your heels and toes. All right, and then so for Surya Namaskar C, go ahead and take your right leg up towards the sky, and then go ahead and bring it forward and step it between your hands, and drop your left leg into a nice long lunge, keeping your fingertips on the mat, gazing forward. So you drop your pelvis and keep your chest facing outward. So you get a nice long stretch deep through your hips, and even a little bit of stretch in your hips. And then go ahead and bring your arms up towards the sky into an Anjaneyasana pose. And then you can drop your arms into a cactus, really opening up that chest. You really don't want the empty, open chest space for the mermaid pose. And then you exhale, drop your hands to the ground. Go ahead and lift your left knee and bring your left foot up to meet your right into a forward fold. And then take a breath here, first one. And then we'll do a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold into your Uttanasana, forward fold. And then circle, sweep your arms up towards the sky, gazing towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are. And then I exhale, come and take a forward fold, back down towards your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, go ahead and step your right foot back, coming into another long low lunge, dropping your pelvis, gazing forward, getting that nice stretch to the hips and that hip flexor and your quads, kind of warming those up. And then go ahead and lift your right knee and step into a plank pose, and we'll go into a knees, chest, chin, so you're warming up your spine. And then go ahead and slide forward into upward facing dog. You could take a cobra, leaving your hips on the ground if you're still getting warm, just ease into it, whatever feels good. And then I exhale back towards downward facing dog. So that's one half of the Surya Namaskar C. We'll go through 2.5 more. So left foot up towards the sky. Go ahead and bring it and set that in between your hands, dropping your right knee down. Chest forward, hips drop, get a nice stretch. And then exhale, go ahead and bring your arms up towards the sky, feeling all that space. Take a breath here, exhale, cactus pose, open up the chest, hands towards the ground, framing your left foot. Go ahead and step your right foot forward to meet it, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle sweep towards the sky, receiving energy. Exhale, forward fold, grounding back in. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step your left foot back, drop the knee, gaze forward, drop your hips, get that good stretch. And then I exhale, arms up towards the sky for Anjaneyasana. Low lunge, exhale, cactus to your arms, frame that foot, and then go ahead and step back into a plank pose. Knees, chest, chin, again keeping your shoulders in the socket. Slide forward into upward facing dog, Exhale into downward facing dog. Go ahead and then right foot up towards the sky. Step it in between your hands. Left knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, cactus your arms. Frame your front foot. Step that back leg into meet. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep up towards the sky. Exhale, down to meet your feet. Inhale, go ahead and step your right foot back. Drop that knee. Gaze forward, little lunge. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, cactus your arms. Frame your front foot. Go ahead and step back. And then we'll go ahead and left foot towards the sky. Inhale, go ahead and step forward, dropping your right knee. Circle sweep up to the sky. Exhale, cactus your arms. Step forward. Go ahead and feet to meet. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Circle sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Uttanasana. And then go ahead and step your left knee back towards the ground. Little lunge, drop your hips. And then go ahead and arms up. Your little lunge. Exhale, cactus your arms. Frame your front foot. Go ahead and step back towards plank. Knees, chest, chin. Slide forward. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, one more time through. We're gonna inhale. Right foot up. Step it between your arms. Drop your left knee down. Sorry, starting your low lunge stretch again. This just feels so good, and you're gonna really want this opening in a little bit. So go ahead and drop your little lunge. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up. Exhale, cactus your arms, getting that really good stretch. Bring your front foot. Go ahead and step your left foot to meet your right. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Circle swing your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and drop your left foot towards the back. Bring your front foot. Go ahead and get a good stretch. And then go ahead and use your arms up towards the sky. Cactus your arms. Bring your front foot. Step back into plank. Downward facing dog. And then go ahead and take the left foot up. Step it between your hands. Drop your right knee, come into a little lunge. Gazing forward. Inhale. Circle sweep, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, cactus your arms. Forward fold on your front foot. Step your right foot to meet your left. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. And go ahead and step your right foot back into a long little lunge. Drop your hips, chest forward. I'm going to take a breath there and stretch. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, cactus your arms. Frame your front foot. Go ahead and step back into plank, and then come into knees, chest, chin, into your back bend. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I might have gotten a couple of those out of order, but we definitely did all the legs same side, so hopefully we should be good there. So go ahead and take a standing sequence pose. So go ahead and take your right foot up towards the sky, and then go ahead and step it between your hands. We're coming into warrior one, so you want your right heel to be in alignment with your left arch. Go ahead and rise up into your warrior one pose, and always start with a foundation. All four corners of your feet want to be pushing into the ground so that your arches lift, keeping your legs in good alignment. Right knee should be tracking over the ankle, and arms up towards the sky, opening into your hips. And then you exhale, come into your warrior two pose. And then you go ahead and rotate your arms here, palms up, so that'll help with the internal rotation and external rotation of your shoulders. Loosen those guys. All right, and we'll get a side body stretch. So go ahead and reach your right arm forward so you're deep, nice and deep into your hips here. And then take your right arm back for a go ahead and get nice and stretch all through those ribs, like each muscle kind of separate. And then go ahead and circle sweep your arms down towards the ground, and then go ahead and drop your back knee. And we're going to go for a nice quad stretch here. So reach back If this is tricky for your balance, you can, just do one hand at a time. Or you can grab on if you have furniture or a wall nearby, that's also great. And I'm gonna hold on to both feet. And then you wanna try to tuck your pelvis so that your pelvis, instead of scooping forward to accommodate the stretch, will fold into a nice normal bowl shape so that you can get as much stretch as you can through that left quad. Also, always these little poses, you might not notice you're using your core, but all these little things will strengthen your core so that more of the super poses will be easier and more fun down the road. So go ahead and keep up with that. You can bring your heel closer to your butt and continue with that pelvic tilt. So you have a nice long line going all the way through your quad, all the way up through your body. And then go ahead and let go of that. Go ahead and frame your front foot with your hands and step your right foot back to meet your left. Come into a plank pose, and then we'll go ahead and take a low push-up chaturanga, and then into your upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And then take your left foot up to the sky and gazing between your hands, step in between your hands. Go into warrior one on the other side, and go ahead and rise on up into that. So making sure that pushing through the outer edge of your right foot. Again, all four corners, the foundation is super solid. And then reconnecting to your breath here. And that's also the foundation for the insides. Feet are foundation for the outsides, and your breath is the foundation for the insides. So connect to your center. And then exhale, come into warrior two. Making sure your shoulders are nice and on your back, your chest is open. And then take those internal rotations and external rotations by rotating your palms to the sky, and then as far around as you can comfortably go. Do that a couple times. And then into your exalted warrior. So reach your left arm forward, getting nice good into your hips. And then taking that one above your hand, let your right hand come down beside your leg. The nice long stretch here. All right, and then go ahead and circle your arms down towards your front foot, dropping your right leg. And once again, you can also use your strap here too if that's easiest. Or even if you have a wall, you can go up. You can put your back leg against the wall. That's usually a deeper stretch, but I'm not going to do that because that will ruin out of your view of the beach. So we will remember to tilt your pelvis. I always forget that one. I mean, it's just your body trying to accommodate itself. If you want to do something difficult, well, let's make it easy. But that's why we practice, and that's why we train, so that we can not take the shortcuts. Do the tough work now so that the hard things become easy down the road. I was always all about the long game. So keeping that pelvis tucked so your upright bowl where none of the water of your pelvis is spilling out of the bowl. That really nice long stretch. All right, and you can let that one go. Frame your front foot with your hands, step back in your plank pose, lower into your chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then go ahead and take your right foot up towards the sky. Go ahead and step it in between your hands and rise up into your warrior one pose for a breath. And then exhale into your warrior two pose for a breath. And then we'll go ahead and straighten both of your legs, and this is the first time and then go ahead and parallel your feet, and go ahead and turn heels in, toes out, and then depending on your leg height, I gotta scoot my head a little bit. We're gonna come into goddess pose, so you wanna just sit your hips down, keeping your knees tracking out over your feet, so that all the stretch coming from your hips, and it's not any of the torque on your knees. And go ahead and sit down into goddess pose, getting those hips nice and open. And we'll breathe here. And then we'll do this this will be the challenge pose right now before our peak pose. So if you can, go ahead and stand up from your goddess pose now that you've warmed that up. And we'll take eagle arms. It really doesn't matter for this one. I'm gonna go left hand under, and then right hand over for a clasp. If you can't clasp, just use your strap or your t-shirt, or you can even just hold where you're at. Again, it's all about moving the joints, and the more you move them, the more they'll get acclimated to the new process. So once you have gotten comfortable in your eagle pose, go ahead and sit back down into your goddess. So now I'm really killing you all with these two poses. They're both very intense, but this is where you learn to quiet the mind. When the mind is screaming and it says, no, I don't want to do this, let's get out. And you remind your mind that, no, we're okay, everything is fine. My life is perfect here and now. I'm enjoying this moment. I can do hard things. And just focus on your breath. And try not to think about the discomfort in your body, because that too will pass. And exhale, go ahead and stand up and gently release your arms. No slingshot. And go ahead and take them up and down into a little bit of a star pose, bringing all the blood back into that joint. And then go ahead and face back towards the front. And go ahead and come back down into your low lunge. And we will do a twisted lizard pose. So go ahead and back sweep your arm to catch your back foot. And again, if you can't catch it, no worries, just use the strap. Again, even just moving towards that direction will help you. On the other hand, if you can catch it and things are going great, you can drop your forearm down into a little bit of a deeper stretch. And if you do get down this far, again, just connect to your breath and remind your body to soften. Mine tensed up a little bit. I'm going to do a deeper pose just because it's, hey, what are we doing? Is this safe? I don't know. And so, yeah, just use your breath to remind yourself that you're calm. All is well. You can leave anytime you want. But for now, we'll sit and make the most of it. Take a couple breaths. And then go ahead and I'm going to let go of the foot first. Bring my hand back in between my other hand. And then just for balance, we'll go ahead and sit back into a runner's lunge, half Hanumanasana. Stretch out your hamstring. We don't really need the hamstring too much for our peak pose, but it's good to give love to all your bits and pieces. Nobody likes to be left out. So keep your spine straight, gazing towards your front toes. And the real key here is keeping your spine straight. So as you lean forward with your chest, the stretch all comes from your hamstring and not from rounding your back. So forward. And then go ahead and come back forward. Frame your hands around your front foot. Step back into plank. Over to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So into our other side, left leg towards the sky. Stepping in between your hands. Rising up into your warrior one for a breath. Exhale into your warrior two for a breath. And then straighten both of your legs. Parallel your feet. Again, heels in, toes out. I have to shorten my stance a little bit to make it comfortable. We'll sink back down into our goddess pose. And all of the strength coming here from your hips. Knees wide. And again, focusing on your breath. I know it's uncomfortable. Your body says, oh, but it would be so much easier to just stand straight. Why should I do this? And also the answer is use it or lose it. Keep up on these skills. One day you might not be able to do them. And then go ahead and rise up. We'll come back into our eagle pose. So other arm behind your back. Other one up. This is my tight side. I gotta wiggle a little bit on my clasp. And then as soon as you're comfortable there, or relative comfortable, I know it doesn't always feel great, go ahead and sink your hips. And again, just connect to your breath. Like I said, this is my tight side, so my whole body is fighting it. But I just remember that if I keep doing these poses, they will get easier, and then I won't fight them so much, and it'll feel good, and everything else will feel good. More things will feel good. Okay, 2 more breaths here. And then I exhale, go ahead and straighten your legs, release your clasp, come here nice and slow. Again, raise your arms. Try to keep your scapula right on your back so that all these juicy tissues can get some blood flow to them and then use space. And then go ahead and come back in from your front foot, dropping your, right knee. And we're gonna go back into the twisted lizard. Reaching back for your foot. Again, using your strap if you need to, or just moving yourself. Come down into it. And then let go of that leg. Bring both of your hands forward, stepping into a plank pose, and then we're going to lower all the way down to the ground and try to get a little opening in our chest here. So we'll do oscillating cobra. I like to bring, some people teach it differently, I like to bring my hands with the palms down, kind of in line with where my elbows would be. And then we'll go ahead and on our inhale, lift your chest up, exhale, bring it back down, and we'll just kind of do a few of these in line with your breath, so that bring all of that shoulder and neck, chest musculature nice and open. Next time you come down, go ahead and stay down. And we're going to do a chest opener. So bring your right arm into a cactus pose. You can do a T if you like. I like the cactus better, especially for this peak pose. And then you just kind of want to gently roll your chest open. Come back towards center when you feel good and stretch, and do the other side. Goalpost arms, rolling open the left side of your chest. Back towards center, and then go ahead and I guess make your way onto all fours. We're going to come into pigeon pose, and we'll do a nice long stretch in pigeon pose. Sometimes it takes those hips a little while to really let go. So in toward your mat, and then you want to bring your right leg, knee to your right wrist. Can scoot your leg up like parallel-ish, that's great. If it feels like too much, you don't need to do that. Again, deep stretches are really best at about 70% effort discomfort. If maximum range, it's just going to stress out your tissues, and maybe you only want that if you're taking a nice picture of a pose, really trying to show off. But when you're actually trying to make progress, about 70% discomfort is good. So when you found your spot, then go ahead and lean forward, and stay here for a small chunk of time and just really try to let go, relax. Sometimes you can dig your back foot toes into the ground to help keep your pelvis from, going wonky and making it easy on yourself. Try to keep your pelvis lined up. And just go ahead and keep breathing. Remind yourself that your leg is not going to fall off. your hip was way up in the air, you can always put a pillow or a block or, you know, anything to support it up in there. I know this pose is really intense when you first get into yoga. So you want to make it easy on yourself and know that it will get better, that your leg will not fall off. Go ahead and take about 4 more breaths here. If you're dying, you can come out, or, you know, just back off. Bring the right heel in towards your groin, make it easier. 2 more breaths. And then go ahead and walk yourself back in. Ground down through your left toes and your hands. So you can go ahead and push back into a 3-legged dog. Go ahead and circle that hip out. So again, bringing blood flow into any of the corners that might have gotten a little too tight. Go ahead and set your right foot down, and then left foot, left knee to left wrist, and bringing the leg again towards parallels, maximum stretch. If you're not there, no worries. Life is all about being where you're at and making the most of that. So go ahead and find your 70% depth. Get your long spine, pelvis straight forward, and then go ahead and bow down into it. All right, 2 more breaths here. Again, if you're dying, just come on out. But if you can hold on a little bit longer. Remember that your brain is always stronger, or that your body is always stronger than your brain. I'm sorry. You can always hold on longer than you think that you can. All right, and go ahead and walk your hands back in. And you can just go ahead and sit your butt down. Bring it forward. So now we are ready for our peak pose. I chose mermaid pose because of the beach, and we're riding the wave of life. So what we're going to do is you're going to start out in a pigeon pose. I'm going to turn this way for now. So we're going to start with the right leg forward and start out in a pigeon, and do a less intense pigeon than you're normally used to. So not quite as parallel, like with your heel tucked in a little more towards your butt, towards your groin. And so you'll want to see if you can find a spot where you can kind of almost feel stable here. Totally okay again to put a pillow behind your back bum, or you could also use the front hand. And so then mermaid pose, you'll want to grab your back foot, and so if you can, into the crook of your arm, and just go slow. You'll find too that like the quad muscle is my tight one. I'll just maybe like soften up a little bit as you go into this. So you're totally in mermaid pose here. You can do a mudra. If this is all going well and you want to take the next step, you want to go ahead and reach your arm up and over. Here's in my face. Okay, one thing at a time. I'm going to go ahead and stretch my quad out. It warmed up a little bit, so I'll stretch my back. to the crook of your arm. And then go ahead and see if you can use your right foot, you know, kind of as your kickstand stabilizer. And, whoop. All right, have it for like half a second. Whoop. And that's how it goes. Sometimes you fall out and you just try again. So kind of keep working that. I think I can get it. Hold it and be able to smile at the camera all in one. So I'm gonna keep going. Sort of, almost. There we go. All right, other side. Coming into your pigeon pose, your heel close to your groin, and then stretch that leg back as far as you can. So you have maximum space. And reach for your back foot. You can crook it into your elbow. Again, this is where you can use your strap. You could either just hold here. If you want to use a strap, go ahead. So, all right, here it goes. Nothing. Do we have the balance? All right, this one's my side. Figured it out. Got it. Oh, all right. I'll give you another minute to try that while I recover my breath from flopping all over. I guess I'm also a flopping whale and a mermaid. I accomplished both poses in one class. All beautiful creatures of the sea. Happy to be any of them. And then when you are done with that, go ahead and we'll just go ahead and come onto our backs. And just breathe in relief for all the goodness that we brought to our bodies. We opened all the joints. We moved around. Can't really ask for more. If you get a beautiful pose, you get a beautiful pose. If not, treat your body well. I'm coming back into Supta Baddha Konasana. Such an open pose. Chest is open, hips are open, ready to receive whatever the world might have to bring. Go ahead and stay here as long as you like. In the meantime, namaste.